everyone, welcome to Programming Cradle. Today in this video, I would like to discuss about what I have learned and how's been my experience so far with my Masters in Data Science in Newcastle University. So I have finished my first 2 semesters and I'm working on my dissertation now. So yeah, I made a video once I finished my first semester. So now that I have finished both the semesters, I'm in a good position to talk about what all I have learned and how useful it was. So what I'll be doing is I'll go through all the modules that I have taken, so and what I learned in that and was it actually helpful or not, so that you will get a better idea how the course structure is and what all modules I have taken. So I'll be talking only about the modules that I have taken, and there are many other configurations of the program which other people have taken, like we have specialization in statistics, specialization in AI, and specialization in visualization. So mine is AI. So yeah, modules vary from specialization to specialization, and also there is this general data science where you have freedom to choose any module you want. The basic difference is between AI and general is your deep learning module is compulsory in specialization in AI, whereas in general data science you don't have to compulsorily take deep learning. Instead of deep learning, you can take any other module if you want. Same goes for statistics, and in statistics you will have probably Bayesian or something like that. I'm not really sure about it. And for visualization, you have complex database, which you have to mandatorily take if you are taking if you are taking specialization in visualization. And also you can take module, you can request a program director that I want to learn this module but I don't want to be assessed on this. So you can do that as well. You can have access to certain modules which you want to learn, and you can have access to that, and you have access to all the content from where you want to learn, and you don't really have to take exams, or you don't have to submit the assignments for that. So that option is also there, so that is again a good thing. So yeah, this was the gist of the program. Now I'll go through all the modules, and hopefully it will help you. But then before moving further, as always, if you are new here or if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go subscribe to the channel and be a part of Programming Cradle family, and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified each time when a video goes live. And if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It keeps me motivated to make such videos for you guys. So with that being said, let's start our discussion. So in the first semester, I covered 6 modules. The first one was, the whole semester was divided into 3 blocks. Each block had 2 modules. So in the first block, I had data visualization and statistical foundation. So in data visualization, we mainly used Power BI. We learned about the UI of the Power BI and how to do certain things in that. And the assignment was totally based on Power BI. So we had data of Manchester City, where there was some outbreak of some disease, and we had to make a decision which areas need first aid with priority and which areas can wait for a certain amount of time. So we had to do that sort of visualization. So it was a good learning experience, though I didn't get good marks in that, but not many people got good marks in that. But it was mainly because of some miscommunication between the educators, not the professor, but the people who were in the lab assistant, you can say. So yeah, I asked them, can I use this tools? They were like, you can use whatever you want, but then during marking they were like, you were not allowed to use this thing. So that was a bummer, but then I don't mind. It was fine. At least I learned something new, so it's all good. After that, in the first block, again, it was a statistical foundation. So in statistical foundation, we learned about PDF, CDF, and all different type of distributions like Gaussian distribution and Pareto distribution and all those things. And the assignment was again based on that, and we had to do all coding in R, and I was really new to R at that time, so it took quite a while for me to pick up the pace. But then it was not that hard because I had experience with other programming languages, so it didn't take much time to pick up. So it hardly took around 5 to 6 days, or that's all, not much. So yeah, that's what we learned in statistical foundation. It was actually a very good learning experience because the content was really good and the professor was really nice, And the material which we had, you can say it was boring because it was all full of text PPT, and educator was explaining everything, but the explanation was really good. So if you were able to keep up your concentration in the video, you would learn many things. So that was good, and the assignment was designed in a very nice way. So when you do assignment and you submit them, you get feedback as well. So that was a good thing. So I really like that module. After that, when we go to second block in the first semester, we had statistical learning, and then we had data management and EDA. So let's first talk about data management in EDA. So in data management, we'll again used R, mainly because we had to use R template, which was project template. So what project template does is it gives you, when you execute the command, it gives you a proper directory and a proper structure of the project, where you have different folder for data, you have different folder for your data manipulation, your EDA part, and all those things. So it makes your project very nicely manageable and also executable. So all you have to do is execute one file, and it will extract the data, it will do all the data manipulation, and it will do all the visualization stuff. It will execute all the command in a particular sequence, and then it will result a nice PDF report for you, where you can have view to everything whatever you have done. So it is actually very nice tool to use if you are using R. And also there was this small session, like a week or so, where they taught us Unix commands and Git. So that is again a very helpful thing in any module, I think, or if you are working in the IT, learning Git is a very useful tool. And when you go to industry, they will always ask you, do you know Git? And if you don't know Git, and when you go to industry, it will take you little bit of time to adjust with that environment. But then if you have used Git at least like 4 or 5 commands, or you have used like for a week or so, you will not be alien to that. You will be like, okay, I have used Git, so it won't take much time for me to get familiarized with it. So that was the good thing. So they covered Git also before data management. So we used Git as well in data management and EDA. And also we had this crisp DM methodology, where we had to follow this methodology. It's something like agile, but it is mainly specific for data analysis and stuff. But then it is a very old system. So I'm not too sure if it is actually being used in the industry, because now everybody is using agile. But then if you learn crisp DM, you will get a better understanding of how the whole life cycle of data science works. So that's a good thing. So yeah, and in the EDA part, we had this data from a Future Learn platform. So Future Learn is something like Udemy, and there they have lots of courses. So we had the data of cybersecurity course, and we had to analyze, and we had to tell what all things can be improved in the course, and how they can attract more customers. So it was again a very real world data, and we had to do real world analysis, and help the business to grow their business. So it was a good learning experience. Now coming to the second module in the second block of the first semester was statistical learning. So in statistical learning, we had linear regression, logistic regression, LDA, and PCA and stuff. So all those kind of statistical learning things. And we had to do a project on penguin gender prediction. So that was the project. It was not a very tough project, but then we had to do quite a lot of data manipulation and some statistical analysis, and then statistical learning algorithms that we learned in the module. So it was again a very helpful module, very basic, but then for someone who is very new to data science and who are just getting into data science, to get hang of machine learning sort of things, it's actually a very good module to start with. So again, I had a positive feedback to that module as well. Now if we move on to the third block of the first semester, we had again 2 modules, machine learning and cloud computing. So cloud computing was optional. Instead of cloud computing, you can take image processing, or something like that. I think it was image processing. I wish I had taken image processing. So, but then we'll talk about it in a while. First, let's talk about machine learning. So in machine learning, we learned all the machine learning algorithms, starting from linear regression, logistic regression, SVM, random forest, a decision tree, you name it. We learned all the algorithms in this. And again, if you are someone who is very new to machine learning, someone who have never heard about these algorithms, you will get a very good understanding of all the algorithms, and you will know how a particular algorithm works. And with further deep down learning, or maybe interest, if you have interest, you can further do your um, research, and you can find out which algorithm to use with which type of data. So yeah, it was a good learning experience. And the project that we did was actually, I mean, there were multiple projects, so you could choose whichever project you want, and also you could choose your own project which you want to do as part of this module. So that was again a good thing. But then the complexity level of the project should be at par with the project which that they had given already in the module. So I chose distracted driver detection. So I think I will leave a link to the dataset in the description, and if you want to see my code base, it is available on the GitHub. And if you want me to make videos of all the projects that I have done, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that, so that if you guys are interested in making a portfolio, so you will be able to do those projects. They are actually very good projects, so it's not like those toy projects which we do on iris dataset, or stock price, or home price prediction things, or Titanic dataset. So it's not like that. It's actually a real world problem and done on a big dataset. So all those projects are really good. So if you want me to do videos on those projects, so that you guys can have better understanding of the projects, and if you want to recreate those projects, it will be really helpful for you guys. So yeah, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do that. So yeah, it was a distracted driver detection. I will leave the dataset link in the description. If you guys want to try, you can try, or you can look for the code base on my GitHub. Again, link will be in the description. And so I did this in Python, and I use computer vision like CNN and stuff, so Keras, TensorFlow, all those things. So it was again a good project, but initially I thought it will be easy project and it won't take much time. But when I actually started doing it, and when I actually looked into the dataset deeply, I realized the dataset is really complex, and it took quite a while for me to reach to a certain accuracy level. But the good thing about this project was you didn't have to aim for a very good accuracy level, because all they wanted you to do was try different algorithms, try different parameters, play around, and see how things are changing when you change different parameters, so that you will get more comfortable with the parameters and will know what each parameter does. So that was the aim for this project. So they didn't really mark you down if you had low accuracy. But then for my self-satisfaction, I tried to aim for good accuracy, and I spent a lot of time on it, and I was able to reach around 85% accuracy, which was not really good, but still, considering the time that I had, I was able to reach 85%, which was a good target, good aim, or good goal, I should say. So yeah, that was a machine learning module. And the second module was cloud computing, which I personally think was not worth taking. I should have had taken image processing. Because I didn't take image processing was because I knew all those things which were covered in that module. But if I had taken that, I would have got more hands-on experience. I took cloud computing thinking that I was working on some cloud infrastructure and stuff. So in module videos and stuff, it was covered what cloud computing is and what all tools can we use, and different cloud infrastructure. But then the assignment that we had, it was purely based on data analysis. So we were analyzing data of, again, there were multiple projects, so you could choose one. So I chose analyzing the data which was collected from a terapixel image which was processed on a cloud computing platform. So basically it was a processing data which was collected from a cloud infrastructure. So again, the code base is available on my GitHub. You can go ahead and look for what all analysis I have done. But then it was again a simple data analysis project which had nothing to do with any cloud related tools. So I personally think it was not worth taking. So if you are someone who wants to learn cloud computing. And if you are joining data science and Newcastle University, I don't think this is the best course, best module for you. But the people who were in advanced computing and they had completely different assignments, so they were actually working with Docker and stuff, so they actually learned cloud computing technologies. So for them it was helpful, but for us people who were in data science module or data science course, it was not really helpful. But then again, if you have time and if you are done with your own assignments as part of your data science, you can talk to people who are in classes are conducted together for data science and advanced computing people for this cloud computing module. So you will obviously be able to talk to them and you will know what assignment they are doing, and if you want to work on the assignment with them, you are more than welcome to do that. So if you want to learn, you can do that as well. I personally didn't do it because I didn't have much time for that. So yeah, this was the first semester and these were the modules that we covered in the first semester. In the second semester we had again 4 modules, but then these were actually very demanding modules. So the first module was, in the first block we had, this was divided into 2 blocks. So the first module was deep learning and the second module was big data. So first let's talk about deep learning. In deep learning, again, we learned all the tools and techniques starting from perceptrons, multi-layer perceptrons, CNN, RNN, LSTM, GRU, GAN, you name it, we learned everything. But then again, it was not covered in depth. It was, if I talk about the whole course structure, not just about deep learning, the whole course structure, it is very depth first learning rather than breadth first learning. So it has its own positives and negatives. So the positives, if I talk about, if you are someone who is new to data science and if you are taking this course, you will know a lot of different stacks in data science and you will be able to choose which one you like the most, and then on your own learning you can go in depth on that particular field. So let's say I am very much interested in machine learning and deep learning, and in deep learning module, like I told you, we covered a lot of things. In that, I think I liked GAN. I really like GAN. That's why I'm doing my dissertation based on GAN. So the very, very basic part of GAN was covered on that. But then I'm very much interested in it. So I went through a lot of different papers. I read different papers, and then I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and I read many Medium articles, and also I read a lot of articles on machine learning mastery. So yeah, I did my own research and I learned about GAN a lot, and it was really helpful. But then what if they hadn't covered GAN? If they had only covered CNN and let's say NLP things in depth, I would have never known about GAN, right? It's not like I would have never known. Maybe after going to the industry, I would have heard about GAN. Okay, it is something. Then I would have started researching about it, and then I would have gained interest in it, and then I would have left a CNN and computer vision and let's say NLP behind, and then I would have shifted completely to GAN and synthetic data generation and stuff. So I would have started from the ground zero after going to the industry. But here I had a basic foundation where I knew that okay, GAN is there, and then I started doing my own research and I got to know, okay, from here I can build upon it. So it was a good thing. But then the downside is you will be good in a lot of things, but then you will not be master in a certain thing. But then it is not a deal breaker for me, because as a student you will never be master in anything. And if we specifically talk about data science field, even people with lot of experience, let's say 5-6 years of experience, they cannot say I am master in this domain or in this field, because it is growing very fast and every day something new is coming. So that is the thing. So in my opinion, it was fine. But if you are someone who is expecting to learn a lot of in-depth things, so it is not going to be helpful for you. But then if you are someone who wants to explore this area and if you want to see what interests you, this course is definitely for you. Yeah, so we were talking about deep learning. I just digressed. So yeah, In this module, we had, like I told you, we learned a lot of things, and we had three different projects to do. Like I told you, it was a very intensive module. So one project was based on GAN, the other one was based on computer vision (CNN), and the last one was text generation. So in GAN, all we had to do was we had to use existing code base, and the data they had given, it was human faces, animal faces. We had to convert human faces to animal faces and animal faces to human faces, and we had to see how the data generation is being happen and how exactly the architecture of GAN works. Generator, discriminator, all those things we had to see how they are actually working. After that, we had one more project which was computer vision CNN based. It was bird classification. So we had, again, I will leave the data set link in the description. It was downloaded from Kaggle. So there we had around 375 to 400 classes, and we had to predict, we had to pass an image, and we had to predict what that bird is, the name of the bird or the species of the bird. It was again a very nice project to do. It was a simple one. You just had to apply CNN and it was working fine, but then you had to do a lot of parameter tuning. So if you know what each parameter does, you will be able to tune them in a very less time. And the last one was this text generation. So we had a book from Agatha Christie's. We had a text from Agatha Christie's book, and we had to train our LSTM model, GRU model. You could have tried BERT and stuff as well, but we stick to things which are covered in the module. So I trained LSTM and GRU, and we had to generate text, and it was again a very fun project, and it gave okay result. It was not that amazing, but it was fine. Again, I think it will be on my GitHub. If you want to check out, you can check out, or if you want a proper tutorial on it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. So these were the projects as we covered in deep learning, and also there was one paper reading session in as part of this module. So we had two papers. One was on dropouts and the other one was on GAN, cycle GAN. So we had to read the paper, we had to tell the gist of the paper, and we had to tell them that what problems we faced while reading the paper, so that they can give feedback and they can tell us what other things you can do to have a efficient paper reading. So it was again a very helpful session. So this was deep learning module, and now the next module was big data. Big data, we had we worked on Databricks and we used Python. So in this we had a very huge data. It was New York taxi data. So it is actually a very huge data, and this data was changed into multiple sizes. I think the same data was presented in different sizes. So it was small, large, medium, XL, and double XL. So, and we had to record our time. We had to do data manipulation on it, and we had to record our time, how much time it is taking to manipulate the data. So yeah, that was the thing. And small, large, medium, XL was also fine, but at double XL it was really huge. So you had to optimize your code in a certain way that you don't exceed a certain time. So if you exceed a particular time limit, then they will mark you down on that. But if you are within the time limit, you are all good. So again, it was a really good learning experience of learning this PySpark and Databricks. So you will learn basics of Databricks and PySpark so that you can handle large amount of data. So it's a helpful module, and there were a lot of people in this module. After big data, we'll move on to the second block of second semester. So the first module was data science in the wild, and here we actually collaborated with actually real projects from the industry. So I was working on Sage Foundation project. So they wanted to they were doing a lot of charity work. So it was not exactly a data science project, it was more from a business perspective. But as a data science, if you go in an industry, you will be interacting with a lot of business people as well. So it was a very helpful project. We collected the problem statement, we analyzed the problem statement, we used Miro board from Teams. If you haven't heard, you can go to Teams and you can search for Miro. You will find a very nice tool. I didn't know about it before, but after using it I felt like it's such a nice collaborative tool, and especially if you are in your planning stage of your project, it's a very good tool to use. So yeah, Sage Foundation wanted to improve their charity work, and they wanted to get more innovative ideas how they can improve their charity work, and also they wanted to measure their impact that they are making. So we had to give different ideas. So we worked in a team of 5, and we had different approaches to it, and then we combined all the ideas and then we presented it. And we had to actually make a lot of PPTs and stuff, and we had to do a lot of presentation in front of a lot of people on a stage. So it was a fun experience. So you will improve your presentation skills, communication skills. So again, it was a really good experience working on a live project. And next was a group project. So again, we worked in a group of 5, and this was a more technical project. So here we had data from Newcastle University itself that they had collected. Not exactly they had collected, it was a data from Open University. So they got the data and they gave it to us, and then they wanted to analyze how they can improve students interaction with the VLE, so virtual learning environment. So we had to do a lot of different but then the thing was they had excluded all the demographic data. So we could data was there, but we could not touch that data. So it limited us a lot, because if we are not analyzing the demographic data, we just had to analyze the data, how much time they had spent in VLE and how much time they're spending in each module and stuff. So things like that we had to analyze, and then we had to tell how they can actually improve the learning experience. So it was actually a live project and a very good one. Yeah, so these were the 10 modules that we covered in 2 different semesters. And now I'm in 3rd semester, which is my dissertation part, and I think I have already discussed about this in one of my videos. If you want to check out that video, I will leave a card and you can watch that video. Hopefully it will help you. So yeah, I think this video is already a very long video, but then I think you would have got a very good understanding of all the modules that we are covering in data science module at Newcastle University. So yeah, this is it what I wanted to discuss in this video. And to check out my GitHub link, you will find a lot of projects from my masters and other useful thing as well. Yeah, and you can join Telegram group. If you have anything specific, you can ask me in the comment section, and you can download data science notes as well. It is in the description again. So yeah, I will end this video now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe, share, like, and comment, all those good things. It keeps you motivated to make such videos for you guys. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye. Happy learning.